Hello, what you're about to see is the 75th logo anniversary designs created by Miss Butterfield's Advanced Graphic Design class. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Kerrigan Flannery. I am a junior and this is my design. I used a gradient inside of the 75 because I wanted it to give it emphasis and create a slight sense of space versus appearing flat. I used the different shades of green to keep with the Shen feel. The Caramel bells are the main part of our history, and that is why I decided to use that image in my logo. I used 4 at the top of the 75 to fit the word Shen. Originally, I made the bells a yellow color that didn't fit with the overall brand of Shen. Instead, I decided on the minty green color to unify the overall piece. The letters inside the bells spell Shen, and I used a darker green on the mint to add contrast. I wanted a clean, bold font for the 7 and 5 that would stand out upon first look. I decided to connect the word anniversary to the base of the 5 to add movement and a modern feel. This was fun and challenging. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Hi, it is very nice to meet you. I'm a senior, and my name is Kiara Gerard, but you may call me Kiki if you'd like. And I created a professional design by creating a corporate style logo that also gives a festive feeling to the anniversary. To incorporate this effect, I had to go out of my comfort zone. But overall, for this design, I had to put a circle as a background shape because I felt the circle brings everything together. Yes, I did try many different shapes, but they didn't feel right. So I went with my heart and I went with the circle. In the logo, instead of putting a white colored text for what I did in my original design, I put the logo in the 3 colors that I was given in my notes. I used the iconic Shen green, the dark Shen green, for the circle and the text, a dark mint green, and a light mint green for the 75 to make it stand out from the rest of the colors. As you can see, I handmade the clock tower by putting in and using different shapes between the 7 and the 5 to incorporate this and to incorporate our current logo, but it gives the 75 connection to Shen. I feel the light mint green for the 75 makes it stand out against the dark colors behind it. In the logo, the colors used do not clash into each other. Instead, they complement each other. They give it a nice, soft, aesthetic feel. Also, lights and darks do not deeply unappeal to each other. They are wisely used. I feel this will appeal to the community and to the Shen group. The banners that are in the dark mint green that are hugging on the sides of the circle. They show the years from when it started to the present day. But also the text that's in the Shen green as a circle. They're the same green. But the banners are in the dark mint green as the same as the text shown as the anniversary. This brings a positive feeling to the celebration. But also thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this design. I hope you enjoy my presentation. But also, all the research for this design was used from the yearbooks, the old-fashioned yearbooks from the 50s and 60s that were used. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, my name is Avery and I'm a junior. My idea for this logo was to celebrate the past as well as give it a corporate appeal. I used inspiration from the old yearbooks in the library to find design ideas. I was heavily inspired by the 1990 yearbook of the bells going vertical and horizontal, and I used the idea of the bells going going horizontally in my design, as you can see, and I put in horizontal lines to look like the bells would be hanging from the bar. For the bells, I originally had them gold, but changed them to green as I wanted to use all the greens given for consistency. The use of the lighter and darker greens in the bell helps to give it a 3D look without them being lost in the 75th. With the 75th, I outlined it in white to contrast the green and black, making it stand out. I used a classic and clean serif font. The numbers are overlapping to prevent it looking flat or too stagnant. By overlapping the numbers, it creates space and better visual interest. The bells are not only a big visual symbol for Shen, but also a reality for half of the students on campus. You hear the bells ringing to release to other classes or electives. That symbolic sound of the bells is present in my logo. In this logo, it's as if you can almost hear the bells ringing in celebration for the 75th anniversary. I wanted viewers' eyes to be immediately drawn to the 75th, so people coming to the event or the community could easily differentiate this logo from the current logo. I also really wanted this logo to appeal to all the current students, alumni, and members of the community. During this project, I found myself learning more about Shen's history. I realized many of the symbols associated with Shen that I see every day, such as bells, trees, and schoolhouses, have a deep connection to our school's extensive past. Thank you for this opportunity to have our voices and design seen by the community.
Hi, my name is Logan, and I'm a senior. And my idea for the Shen 75th anniversary was to include Shen's history within the 7 by including the 11 original bells from the schoolhouses. The target market is anyone connected to Shen staff, and former and current Shen students. The focal point of my design is the bells in between the 7, with the dark green contrasting with the light green. For my font, I chose large, bold letters for Shen to be really readable, and a nice script for anniversary to kind of represent celebratory. The 7 and the 5 are linked to show a bit of unity and create a bit of modernism within the design. And I chose the 3 Shen greens to kind of just connect it to Shen. Thank you, and that's it.
Hello, my name is Alex Kenny. I'm a junior, and this is the logo I have made for the Shen 75th anniversary. I wanted to use as many of the greens as I could that were suggested in my design, because I want to give the color scheme its Shen style, sort of, as much as I could create in it. I originally wanted to use all the greens I could in it, but it looked as if all of them were blending together, making it difficult to see, so I decided to use one of the normal Shen logos and change some of the shades around right here to give it a more unique and modern feeling. For the text, I wanted to use a font that looked both old to help show the long history of Shen and modern to show how far the district has come since it was only a few schoolhouses. I created 7 to look like a book due to it communicating the educational history of the school with a lighter color outside as a way of separating the colors on the inside more clearly. However, I didn't choose to make any images out of the 5 in order to maintain the simplicity of the design. I decided to add these half trees here at the top and the bottoms, specifically those resembling pine trees, due to the school's history with them, and I decided to keep them just as outlines rather than adding color or making them whole, just to make sure there weren't too many things going on in the designs, sticking with the goal of keeping it simple. I made sure to have the trees on each side of the design to be facing different ways, with them looking different to give more variety in the design. The targets of my design were the community of Shen as a whole, students, staff, family, and others as well. Like I mentioned before, I want to include many of the different greens suggested in order to make the design look more varied, and I kept the colors the same for all of these, and I also made sure to use white and black in my design as well, or to match with Shen's general color scheme. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Ayla Clementi. I'm a senior.
I tried to stay away from just using our Shen green and wanted to incorporate other colors to show the diversity of just everything we have here. And I wanted it to include more than just like sports or anything like that, because we also have lots of music programs and academics here. I put it inside of the like Shen75 inside of a book as like a yearbook, because no matter how long ago you went to Shen, almost everybody has had a Shen yearbook at some point, so it kind of, no matter how long ago or how recently you went to Shen, it kind of links everybody together in that way. I added the bell for the Carillon bells, and thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Kyla, and the idea of my design was to bring a sort of remembrance of the history of Shen and how far we've come. Recently, the history of our school's logos was posted, and I took an interest into it even before we started the 75th anniversary logos. Originally, I had the old school on the top and the current day outline of East on the bottom, and a sort of day and night of Shen, but that didn't really work because they were different viewpoints, and it didn't account for the fact that there are several other schools, several more schools now than in the past. That's where the trees come in, because the Shen 75th part at the bottom was sort of floating, and I put the trees in to make it feel more complete and add like a whole effect to it. And the focal point is definitely the 75 because it's sort of in the center of the logo, and that's where the eye goes. But then it spreads out to the trees, which point upwards to the Shen and the old history logo. I chose the font I did because it wasn't too much. It felt pretty professional considering all the creative aspects to the image. I thought it calmed things down a bit. I used the colors suggested, some of the typical Shen greens, to really just capture the fact that this is Shen. I tried to make sure there was a contrast, not just the same color in 1,000 different spots. And everything is where it is, just to create a unified look, no aimless pieces. And that's my design.
Hi, my name is Luke Bonkowski, and I'm a junior here at Shenendehowa High School. My logo design for Shenendehowa's 75th anniversary aims to blend our school's history with a modern appeal that would appeal to both our current alumni, or current students and future alumni. The overall design emphasizes the 75 because that's what the whole purpose of this logo was, is to show that it's the 75th anniversary of Shenendehowa. And the greens in it symbolize how it's undoubtedly and unmistakably Shenendehowa, because you don't want it to be mistaken with somebody else. The bell in the middle here symbolizes Shenendehowa's extensive history from the 11 original bells at the schoolhouses to the bells now at our campus. The colors are all the color swatches that you provided for us, the lighter green, the dark green, the lightest green, and that can be shown throughout, which also makes it unmistakably Shenendehowa's 75th anniversary. The gradients in the numbers symbolize Shenendehowa's transformation over the years and how we've grown from 11 schoolhouses to a major campus that is a powerhouse in almost every sport and also has a rich arts and science culture at Shenendehowa. The fonts here it's a normal font and then a script font. This is supposed to symbolize the variety because as Shen, we're a very diverse community, and I wanted that to be represented in my logo. In conclusion, my design honors the past and as well looks forward to our future, and thank you for this opportunity.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm a senior at Shenendehowa. The logo I created for you today was the 75th logo, and I turned it into a clock. In the clock, I put the 11 bells that were represented from Shen on the 22 bells that were found. So I turned it into a clock, and as you can see, the 11 bells were represented as the actual numbers represented on a clock. But instead of the 7 and the 5, I decided to put them in the actual spots on the clock and make them come together. And for the colors, the outside color, I used the dark green that you guys provided, and then I used the mint green for the inner circle on part of the clock. On the 7 and the 5, I decided to use a gradient on the inside of them to kind of give it that representation of kind of it standing out, because that's what the whole logo was supposed to be. For the fonts, I was kind of jumping back and forth between a bunch of different fonts, but I chose the one that I felt like was going to stand out the most and was going to be more on the anniversary side of it. And originally I did have a gradient around the actual outside of the clock. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Hello, my name is Evan Brown. I'm a junior. My logo was basically one of the Caroline bells that is now currently outside one of our clock towers, with the word like anniversary like right swooping down inside the bell, and the word Shenendehowa just waving across kind of like a flag. The colors I used were 3 out of 5 shades of green that you said we could use. The light like minty kind of color, the really dark kind of like tree color, and then the like really dark color. Along with that, the 75th is like really like emboldened and very large in the center. That way it stands out. Originally the bell was gold and the Shenendehowa was like arched on top of this, but it wasn't that unified, so through trial and error I got it to look like this. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Spencer Castle and I'm a senior. For my logo, I wanted to take the classic Shen logo that's already synonymous with Shen and incorporate the 75th anniversary into it. So I used flat, simple colors to really make it pop, and then I replaced the clock faces with a 75 with a black background to make that the focal point of the logo. For the fonts, I wanted to use easy to read font for the Shenendehowa that kind of looks like it's out of a yearbook or something, and then a more formal script font for that anniversary. I just wanted to make a timeless logo that pays homage to where Shen has been in the past and where it will go in the future. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope you will take my work into consideration.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm a junior, and today I'm excited to share my design for the Shenendehowa 75th anniversary logo. My goal was to create a design that is bold, clear, and timeless. The number 75 is the main focus, shown in the large and eye-catching way to highlight the importance of the event. Behind the numbers, I added Shenendehowa's iconic imagery of the Caroline bell, which represents tradition, community, and the strong bond shared by everyone. In the first sketch, my idea was to incorporate the numbers 7 and 5 in the bracket of the bell, but when I started to make it, the idea of putting them in front of the bell turned out to be better. The green gradient background adds depth and symbolizes growth, history, and a bright future, important parts of Shenendehowa's legacy. For the word anniversary, I used a script font that balances well with the bold numbers. It adds a classic celebratory feel. The contrast between the fonts and colors makes the design easy to read and appealing for everyone, students, parents, and the entire community. I used all the colors there were in the list and tried to change regular white and black into different shades of green so it's more in the Shen style. I made sure the design is simple but still meaningful so it connects with everyone, even those who don't know all the details. The balance of shapes, curves, and space creates harmony, much like the unity and spirit of the Shenendehowa community. This logo represents the pride, joy, and excitement of the 75th anniversary, and I believe it will leave a strong and lasting impression on everyone who sees it. Thank you for the chance to create for you.
Hi, I'm Elena and I'm a junior. This design was supposed to capture the 75 years Shen has been around for. My main goal was to emphasize the bells. These bells, they add a flash of history because we've had them for so long since we started our school district, and they're one of the most iconic figures on the campus. And I also really wanted to add this green to the logo because it's one of Shen's most iconic features is being surrounded with green. Going through old yearbooks and looking at all the pictures, all of them had bells on them, so it's something I really wanted to add. I originally wanted to involve a lot of trees too, but I felt as if that would be too messy and cluttered, so I decided to keep this image because it was much more neat. My target audience is for everyone who has any connections with Shen, and Shen does hold a really special place in my heart, and this is just, I wanted something to look how I thought Shen looks to me.
Hello, I'm Oliver and I'm a junior, and here's my design. The first idea that I originally had with this design was to kind of make it like a ring, like something that would signify an anniversary or a class ring. But then I ended up sort of straying away from putting emphasis on the ring itself and more on the things around it, which are my words like the Shenendehowa and the anniversary, and the bells at the bottom as well, which there are 11 of them to signify the 11 in the district's carillon. I also tried to organize these bells in the circular type shape so that it would match the top part of my design right there. And the main point for making this design was to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Shenendehowa, so I tried to make that the focal point of my design with the 75 big in the middle. I also used various different fonts based on the vibe that I wanted each part to give off, and also the readability for each part as well. I stuck with the Shen colors given throughout my design, even using a gradient with a few of them for my arc, and at the top, and with the bells as well. I wanted the arc to fade into white as well, so the 75 didn't feel too boxed in like it was in a circle, which was also solved by using bells at the bottoms instead of just another arc like this. And the target market for this is basically just Shen students, which I feel like is really important, especially for a job like this because of the fact that I know there's people like me who didn't know that it was our 75th anniversary. But once I started looking into the history and the beginnings of our school district, I realized how important of a job this really is, and also I was delighted with how much fun I had making my design. So thank you.